Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be in here to let you in on a little bit of a secret, because this video is going to be about how your own brain sabotages your dream life without you realizing it. And because you're into the inner work, you're now going to know about this. Whereas a lot of people out there will be constantly chasing that dream life and they may never actually achieve it. They may never achieve abundance and they may retire working the 9 to 5, not living and getting paid to exist and not living in their fullest potential and fullest happiness, which is so sad, and that is why I created this YouTube channel. So basically today we're going to be talking about the fact that your ego, as part of your mind, you've got like your conscious mind that takes up 5%, but then 95% is actually taken up by the subconscious, which means you're not aware of it. And that's the problem here, right? Because we've got these two minds, like, you know how people say you're in two minds about it? It's because you know that a part of you doesn't want it and a part of you does want it. So you're kind of trying to like weigh up the positives and the negatives. Well, it's because part of it is conscious and then a part of you is like, it's like a feeling almost that's coming from your subconscious. Your subconscious or your ego is innately trying to keep you safe, secure and alive, essentially. I know we've been alive for so many years and yet our subconscious is still doing the best for us, right? It's trying to keep us safe. It's trying to keep us unnoticed, and therefore it's trying to protect us. But after all these years, obviously we haven't really adapted just yet, because just 100 years ago, these kind of things would be very useful. You are literally trying to keep yourself alive. Whereas now in these days, a lot of us are pretty safe. And even if we was to be seen to the world, we're still safe. But our subconscious is still there to protect us, right? And this also includes emotionally safe. So it wants to protect you from feeling discomfort as well. So I'm going to show you this little elastic band theory. You may have heard of it before, but essentially our subconscious mind, let me move over like this a little bit. So this is our comfort zone, and our subconscious mind, it wants to keep us inside this comfort zone. And so our subconscious mind is trying to protect this safety and security, because a lot of us have already been hurt as well. So it's like a lot of us in fight or flight mode, it's like an overdrive. It's trying to keep you even more safe, even more secure. A lot of adults, when they're older, they'll lose their friends and their peers because as life goes on and the more they have these negative events, more their mind tries to keep them protected more and more and more. And so people fall into the trap of getting further and further and further into this rabbit hole of the comfort zone. And bear with me here, because this relates to your dream life in a way that you didn't even realize actually relates, right? So outside of the comfort zone is the growth zone. This is where your rubber band is going to start stretching a little bit, right? And as it begins to stretch, you start to feel discomfort. And your subconscious doesn't like discomfort. It wants comfort, okay? And so your subconscious mind is going to try everything it can to ping you back into the comfort zone, to ping you back into that non-growth zone, right? I'm not going to be typical here and say everything is outside of your comfort zone, but I'm going to come at you with a new perspective here, right? In terms of shadow work, our shadows are part of our subconscious mind, and unless we are aware of the shadows happening, and unless we're aware of our self-sabotaging thoughts, we're not going to know when we're trying to keep ourselves inside this comfort zone. So this is going to be how to use your higher consciousness, your emotional intelligence, and all of these good stuff to know if it's your head or your heart that's actually speaking when you do all of these dream work activities. You know, you start your business, you start manifesting a new income level. Whether it's your head or your heart that come up with these excuses as to why you don't think you deserve it, or actually maybe it's a different business idea that I want to do actually. we need to learn whether it's our head or our heart. And this is the whole reason why we do inner work, because we want to have this higher consciousness. We want to have the emotional intelligence to be able to recognize when our mind is sabotaging us and when it's not sabotaging us, and how to actually fix that, because as soon as we catch it in that moment, then we can change the trajectory. So here's a couple of ways. I'm going to give you 4 different ways of how to know when your ego is sabotaging you. Your mind can still be in the back of your head saying, no, you can't achieve this, no, you can't, you don't deserve this, or this. And if you don't listen to that and start working on those thoughts, then you're going to let your shadow self take over, aka the things that are going on inside your subconscious mind that are trying to keep you safe and secure. So I'm also going to go into the positives on how to know positively that you're in this growth zone just here. First of all, if you find yourself saying, maybe it's not meant to be, this is you doubting yourself, as you can probably imagine. When you start saying, maybe it's not meant to be, this is your shadow self saying, this is kind of uncomfortable, and I don't think we should be here. So therefore, maybe it's not meant to be. Then you can ask yourself, using your gut instincts, is this my heart speaking or is it my head? You can change your mind. You can come up with a different idea if you want to. But is it your heart that's telling you, no, we're going to pivot, we're going to change our idea, maybe this is actually not meant to be? Or is it your mind? Where is that thought coming from? Is it a tug from your heart, or is it an analytical response? Which one is it? This is going to tell you if it's your ego sabotaging you or if it's your heart genuinely changing its desires, right? And as soon as you recognize this, you can start doing the nervous system work by slowing down and getting your intuition in check, listening to your gut instinct more, being present and silent with yourself more often, and giving yourself small little prompts and listening to where those answers come from. Start doing this work to listen. Is it my head or my heart? Is it my intuition or is it my mind? Is it my shadows? And then number 2 is if the things start coming up saying, well, maybe I don't deserve it, or maybe I'm not capable of getting it. If this starts coming up, you know then that there is work to be done on your deservingness and your capability, which are the 2 biggest things. Deservingness, worthiness, and capability are the 2 biggest shadows that every one of us have. And I have just worked on a capability shadow, and now I'm trying to make sure that there is no deservingness shadows there as well. I had a massive capability shadow, especially from being in school and not being able to concentrate. I was always told that I was like not focused. Maybe she doesn't want it that bad because she doesn't look like she's trying. She's just not trying, right? So I had this huge capability where I would read instructions and I would be like, I don't think I can figure this out. I don't like instructions. And as soon as I caught on to this belief that was no longer actually serving me, and I started to challenge it, and I thought, when have I ever not been capable of something truly? And I realized never since school have I proven to myself in any way that I'm not capable of doing something, because I've literally not given myself the chance to prove that anymore. Because every time that it comes to something that's to do with capability, I've immediately said I'm not capable of that, and I've not even tried. And then from that day forwards, I decided I was capable of figuring anything out. And then the next day, I was really proud of myself. I went to our garage, and this really complicated lock, I can never figure it out. Even when we bought this house, we had to call the previous owners and be like, how do you open your garage? Because neither of us could figure it out. I didn't even try. And normally Aaron can figure out everything. We were so confused. And when they gave us the exact instructions, it was like, turn it clockwise, then turn it back anti-clockwise, then put the key in, then turn it this way, then let go of the handle and then lock it. And I was like, what the hell? I can never get this. And the next day I went to the garage and I was like, I don't know how to unlock this. I haven't read the instructions. Aaron's not showing me how to because I've never listened to him, but I'm going to figure it out. myself, and I'm going to listen to my heart, and my heart's just going to tell me what to do. And you guessed it, within 30 seconds, I had that garage locked. And I was so proud of myself because I wasn't even listening to instructions. I literally just said, I'm going to figure this out. And I'm going to let my heart guide me. Because whatever's in my mind is logical, and this thing ain't logical. And it worked. So, when you start realizing these capability and these deservingness thoughts, these shadows that keep coming up in your mind, you can then eliminate them immediately, question them, journal on it. When have I ever proven to myself that I was not deserving of something? When has this ever happened where I'm not capable or not smart enough? And if it has happened, why? Is it because I genuinely wasn't smart enough, or was I not trying? Was I not motivated? Was it's something that I genuinely is outside of my scope, and therefore no one would be able to do it if it was outside their scope? Challenge these thoughts, and then you'll begin to realize where your subconscious mind was actually trying to keep you safe and secure, and it's likely a defense mechanism that has come up from your childhood, and you've never challenged it since. So here you are as an adult, still running with the same defense mechanisms as when you were 7. You see how this impacts your goals and your dream life? Number 3 is gonna be, when it gets difficult, you start to slack through excuses. Because the mind doesn't like pressure. This is why New Year's resolutions are so commonly broken, because you put such a big pressure on yourself to do something, like it only comes once a year. So yes, your mind is going to be like, this is too much, too fast, too hard. I don't like it. And then by February, you're back into the comfort zone, into your old habits. It doesn't like the pressure. You're stretching that rubber band too big. So you've got like the healthy zone, which is the growth zone that I showed you earlier on. But then you've also got like this zone here where if you stretch this rubber band that far, it will snap. This is where you're going to experience loads of negative emotions. Maybe it's like severe overwhelm. Maybe it's like anxiety attacks, if you've dealt with that. It's stress that's then causing illness. This is where it's too much. And this is what New Year's resolutions can actually cause, believe it or not, especially if you set like multiple and they're really big, like you want to lose 5 stone, or you want to quit your job within the next week, and your nervous system is just like, I don't want this. Your subconscious is like, no thank you, too unsafe. Your body is like, this is too much stress, I cannot handle it, my heart rate's gonna go up. That's when it snaps, and then you will collapse. But we want to be in that healthy state, right? And one of the biggest things of this is when people start to get in the difficult zone, which is the growth zone, that's the healthy zone. They're not used to being in the difficult zone. They're like, this is a little bit difficult right now. Like, I actually don't like this feeling. It's a bit uneasy. Sit with that feeling. What's the worst that could happen if you sit in this discomfort and actually listen to what's the worst that could happen if your dream goal actually manifests? If you actually get to this point that you've been wanting to get to, what is the worst that could happen? Let your body feel the discomfort. Let the emotions come up. Let your body tell you all of the limiting beliefs so you can quickly write it down and thank it for showing you its thoughts that you need to dissolve. An example of this is maybe if you say to yourself that you don't want to go to the gym because you're tired. Then you ask yourself, is it my head or my heart? Am I in my body, in my bodily focus right now? So maybe you could just, for 1 minute, focus on your breath and nothing else. Focus on inhaling and then exhaling slowly for a long amount of time. Let your heart rate go down, and then ask yourself the question, why do I not feel like going to the gym today? And if you feel your body, you actually feel like you don't have a lot of energy, you feel a little bit tired, that's correct then. That's your heart, that's your body speaking then. You're like, I actually don't feel like going today. Or is it your head that goes, I just don't want to go. Like, I really don't want to go. That's your head versus your heart. Your head will come up with many reasons to give you excuses to do something, and you will believe them unless you question it. If it's your body and you genuinely feel tired for that day, listen to your body. If it needs to recuperate, let it recuperate. A lot of us exert way too much energy every single day than what we actually are naturally have room for, right? So yes, if you start going to the gym every day, you're going to be very exerted, and you're going to wonder why you're suddenly like feeling like you want to quit. That's stretching the elastic band too far. So head or heart, who wants it? If it's your body and your heart, then yes, that's correct. But if you catch your head and you actually turn out that you don't want it because you genuinely just don't want it, like, I don't want to go, I can't be bothered, then you know that you can overcome that easily and be like, nope, not listening to you, my body's ready, let's go. Then the last point here is when you start thinking that it's not important anymore. So another excuse is that it's not that important, actually. So you start coming up with this new habit, and then you realize, this isn't actually that important right now. Like, I don't feel like doing it. Again, build up your emotional intelligence to ask yourself, is this actually not important right now? Or again, do I just not want to do it because I'm being lazy and it's gonna threaten my, I know it sounds serious, but is this gonna threaten my survival? And obviously your body's not gonna be like, yes, this threatens my survival straight away. You will have to journal on it in order to get to that point. And how this might look is, okay, so I won't use the gym example again. Okay, so say you've got a new desire and a new goal of starting a business again. Starting a business. And you're like, I'm going to start the business today. I'm going to set up the name and whatever. I'm going to start looking for products. Or I'm going to start my YouTube channel, my Instagram, whatever you want to do. And then you're like, is it really that important to create the business today? Do I really have to create a YouTube today? Is it actually important to do that first? As in, like, if you literally can't do anything without starting your business and registering it with the government, then yes, that is very important. Or is your body just like, no, I just can't be bothered to do it? And you will know, because you'll be like, no, I actually need to do this before, like, I need to register my business, or I don't have a business. And you'll catch yourself immediately then. Is it actually important, or is it just that I don't want to do it? And if you know it's important in that moment and you just don't want to do it, then you know you need to suck it up and do it, right? Unless it's a case of where your heart and your body genuinely doesn't want to do something because you genuinely don't have the energy, for example, then fine. Don't push your body like that. But don't let your mind come up with excuses and then allow it to run the show. That's where your shadows are going to run the show. That's where your mind is sabotaging your desires. So say you journal on this. Why don't I want to do this registering my business today? Because it is scary. It's a lot of pressure now I finally have a business. What's scary about it? Well, when I have a business, I will be out there in the world. Everyone will see me. I'll be seen, and it'll be stressful. It might be hard. Okay, what's the worst that could happen by being seen and experiencing this stress? You know, people will see me and then I'll get hurt. And something might happen to me, and you will realize that it all stems down to survival. In our mind, inevitably, if we're not safe, i.e. we're being seen on the internet, we're experiencing stress, all these things that your mind is like dreading, it threatens your safety and your survival. In the wild, if you were seen, if you went outside of your cave and you screamed at your top of your lungs, then yes, predators are going to come for you. So your mind still thinks that's going to happen. Oh my God, if everyone knows who I am, then someone might hurt me. Someone might actually do something to me. Your mind is still thinking these things. If you feel an emotion coming up, like sadness, oh my God, why do I feel so sad? Like, actually, I'm sad to create this business. Like, why? Why am I sad? Am I grieving my own life? Does it remind me of someone else in my life that had a business that maybe passed away? Like, where's the sadness coming from? Sit with the sadness, allow it to come up. What memories come up? What pictures come up? This is your body telling you why you feel sad about this thing. Let it come up. After a few minutes or even a couple hours, if it's that deep rooted of a wound, the sadness will pass and you will feel completely free to start this business with no bad emotions attached. But we have to let the shadows come up, and we have to shine a big mirror on ourselves and be like, where's the shadows pulling me down? Where am I self-sabotaging? Hello, subconscious mind back there. What are you doing? Like, you know, almost like telling it off and shutting it down a little bit. We have to question ourselves like this. So I hope this video helped you. This was all of the ways that your subconscious and your mind, your ego, is sabotaging you from achieving your dream life. Just imagine the comfort zone, the elastic band theory. Your elastic band is relaxed. This is your comfort zone. This is you doing the same thing every single day. And the second you start going out, being your truest, authentic self, maybe it's wearing a different outfit to your local store, and you find yourself a little bit discomfort, then that's good, because you're changing your life. And then you go home and you feel really accomplished and you're like, yes, oh my God, this is great. I achieved something today. That's the positive side. When you feel these little moments of accomplishment, that is when you know you're healthily expanding that rubber band. Also, you'll start being okay with being on your own. You'll start going out on your own more. You'll start going out, you'll start being okay with being on your own in your home, because you're improving your confidence by stretching this rubber band. You're aiming for your dream life. You won't want to go out every weekend. You won't want to go out shopping in order to get this quick dopamine rush. You'll be okay with being on your own in silence. You'll be okay with going out on your own, because then all the attention's on you, but you don't mind that because you're healthily growing. You don't need someone else to be there for you to distract you or take some of the attention away. You'll start being okay with doing stuff by yourself, and your confidence will improve so much. And guess what that's associated with? Your dream life. Dressing how you want, appearing to the world confidently and authentically. But we have to be in the growth zone, and we have to be doing the shadow work in order to reveal to us where we're self-sabotaging, to keep us safe. Every day you can journal on this. Where am I trying to keep myself safe today? Where am I purposely not doing something in order to keep myself safe? It's the biggest shadow journal prompt that you could do when it comes to trying to achieve that dream life. But yeah, anyways, if you're watching this, happy Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Day tomorrow. If not, I hope you had a lovely Christmas if you're watching it afterwards. And I'll see you very soon. Have a lovely, lovely day. Bye.